to back, no batteries included and no strings attached. No holds barred, no time for move faking. Got to get to loose so I can bring home the bacon. Brothers front.
Hey, Lorain County Friday Night Lights, a little Tribe Called Quest. What's the scenario? So, Mr. Versatility, Steve Gerald, will go through all the scenarios for the playoffs. He'll have everything broken down on the bottom half hour of our last show. It went fast, week 10. So this will be our last podcast of the season. Look for us as we continue to grow with WOBL and WDLW Sports. We're looking to put together a 7-on-7 showcase with Lorain County schools. So we're looking to do that in July. We're still at the beginning of putting this all together, but stay tuned for that. So we'll have a 7-on-7 for all Lorain County players, all Lorain County teams to showcase their ability, and let's hope we have a great first annual, and we'll continue to do it. So yeah, Steve will be in, and he'll break down all the scenarios. There's so many different scenarios that we felt like we needed to put a whole segment just dedicated to that. Week 11, we're looking at, I think the last thing we looked at six home games for Lorain County, and with possibly more. So we'll also say, if you want to see any of these shows, any of the 12 shows this year, especially if you're a player of the week, or you know the kid that was in the player of the week, you can search YouTube at Lorain County Friday Night Lights, and you can view them for eternity. They're there, along with obviously in our group Facebook Live. Next week, tomorrow, Tyler and myself will be at at Hokefield. Clearview is hosting Brookside, and week 10, Lorain County 8 matchup. Clearview's trying to improve their status in the computers, and the Cardinals are trying to finish the season with a W. So, as always, I give our membership amount update. We've got 8,697. I believe we're up 6% from start of May when we started our membership drive. So, congratulations to everybody there. Be real nice if we can get to 9,000 during the off season. We continue to stay active with throughout the playoffs. We'll still have matchup breakdowns and all types of things. We'll have the check-in. We'll have who you got. We just will not have a podcast. And then I want to give a shout out, and if you give me a minute, and give a shout out to all our sponsors. Hopefully I haven't missed any. I'll start out with R&K Technologies, Eye of Joe Photography, KM Voice, Erie's Market, Josh Hammond of the Swanzer Group, far as our realtor, Eric Rothgary running for Municipal Court of Elyria, Amanda Derry, who's running for Elyria Law Director. I want to thank them very much. Crafted by Love, who's been with us from the start. Then Peace, Love, and Little Donuts, who sponsors our Lorain County Friday Night Player of the Week. And then RK Technologies, who sponsors our check-in every week. Then we go with Scotty Campana. I think it's SC Campana. I don't want to confuse with the other one. And then, of course, Chuck Sturgill of Elyria Ford. He's one of our originals from day one, sponsoring us. He sponsors the Who You Got contest. Then you got WOBL, WDLW, our gold sponsor, our partner. Without them, this probably doesn't have as much success. We've grown exponentially since we teamed up with WOBL and WDLW. I want to thank Gary Tollin and the rest of the team. I'll break down when we have our KM Voice recap. I'll let you know what games they have this week. And we'll have the Nord Center, MHARS, Mental Health and Rehabilitation Center, then Midwest Installation, That's Chuck Halliburton, who was a spotlight sponsor of our Leary Catholic Holy Name game. Then the Ohio Title Passport. That's Tommy O, who's been with us for several years and good friend of mine. I appreciate his support. And then the Achieve Credit Union, who sponsors the post-game show hosted by Dave Rivera on Facebook Live, WDLWWOBL Sports. Then Erie's Auto Repair out in Westlake. ANC Landscaping. And then NETS, National Embroidery Transfer Services, who was our spotlight sponsor for the Elyria Olmsted Falls game. I want to thank them. And then this week's sponsor for Week 10 will be the sponsor of our spotlight game as the Cardinals travel to Clearview for the Battle of Sheffield is Pavement Maintenance of Ohio. I want to thank Dave Ruppel for his sponsorship. And then Bob Markovich, soon to be officially the mayor of Sheffield Village, North Coast High Performance Team. I want to thank him for being our Week 1 spotlight sponsor. Give us a little bit of feedback on what you thought about our spotlight, our first year doing our spotlight games. We'd like to have a little bit of feedback. And then our Week 9 was Week 9 was Railroad Brewing Center Station. I think Thomas Wagner on 820 Center Road, just south of the tracks where the old Bubba Q's at. He was the spotlight sponsor for our North Ridgeville Avon Lake game, which we attended, and we'll talk more about that. What a great high school game. And then we have the Lorain County Recorder, Road Adventures, and then Alan Januzzi, Alan Januzzi accountant. So I hope I didn't miss anybody. My apologies if I did. And I want to say congratulations to Ethan Albert of Midview Middies. He was 11 of 19 for 207 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also ran on the ground for 84 yards and 1 score there. We haven't had an opportunity. He hasn't had an opportunity to reach out to us. Hopefully we can get him at the bottom of the hour. And just to let you know, we're going to run a little late today because we've got so many things to do with the scenario. But I went to the Avon Lake North Ridgeville game. What a great game. I mean, the best $7 you'd ever have to spend. What a great game. Come down to the last play. And I know that when we do the Peace, Love, and Donuts Player of the Week, it's always an offensive player. But this young man, Shane Osborne, nose tackle of the North Ridgeville Rangers, man, play in and play out. It's tough to block, aggressive. And I was like, man, we have to do something to showcase him. I don't want to put him in with the Player of the Week poll and then, offensive players, all those accolades, which they deserve. Ethan Albert, Charlie Steinmetz, they deserve being nominated. But I didn't want this to go his performance go unwarranted. So he will be in right after our KM Voice recap of Week 9. So we'll have him in studio. Again, we'll have Steve breaking us down. Well, what's the scenario? And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start the KM Voice recap. So Thursday night, I believe Lorain was down 6-7 when we left. They played Thursday night against Bedford. Lorain loses to Bedford 15-12. They have a must-win against Maple Heights to win the LEL and probably to maybe secure a home playoff game. So that was Thursday night. So we only had 9 games. When we did our R&K Technologies check-in. So we really were able to we weren't spread thin. We were able to give some great updates. And I want to thank a shout-out to all the members of everybody who constantly updating. It helps our spotlight game. It helps the whole community. You got to think there's so many people out of town, and WDLW, WOBL, and ourselves, we cover 4 games, and then even Dave Revere from the Chief Credit Union, he's got an eye. He's got an eye everywhere, but he's got one of them, or half of one, on our post updates. So you guys are a great value to this group, and remember, this group is membership driven. Then Edison, who's tough. I believe Edison's probably 8-1. I would think. They beat Vermilion 34-14 in a Sandusky Bay Conference matchup. Leary Catholic gets back in the winning ways. They take care of Fairview 21-6. They're going to need to take care of the 6-3 Westlake Demons to secure themselves a playoff spot. And then North Ridgeville, Avon Lake, which was our spotlight game. What a great game. Went down to the last play. North Ridgeville secured a winning season the first time, and I don't know when. Someone actually mentioned it, but I didn't know how long ago last time they had a winning season. So they go away victorious at Memorial Stadium, 23-17. Nothing to be ashamed about. Play here or there, and we might have a different outcome. We got into a conversation because there was a PI missed and a face mask here, and so the refs are human. Things were missed, but we'll talk a little bit about Shane. I just really thought that their down linemen and their front seven really dominated the game and forced Avon Lake to do some things they were uncomfortable with. Then we've got Amherst, who it was close, and then poof, the Magic Dragon, Avon came out and beat Amherst 63-28. Amherst is still in the running for a playoff spot. Again, Steve will give us all the scenarios later. And then we've got Columbia took care of my Cardinals 35-7 to secure a Lorain County 8 championship, where they go back-to-back. Congratulations to Coach Ward and the Columbia Raiders. And then Clearview, and a little closer than I would have thought, Clearview wins 26-19 over Black River. Keystone takes care of Wellington in a one-score game, 22-14. And Fireland shuts out the Oberlin Phoenix 42-0. So like I said, we're back to having 10 games. And after everything is washed out, probably Sunday night, we'll put up, soon as the matchups are determined, we'll put up the playoff matchups. So right now, off the top of my head, and I'll just glance at it, Lorain is in. Vermilion, I think they need win. They have to win and get some help. Leary Catholic, if they win, they're in. Obviously, Avon Lake, North Ridgeville are in. Midview's in. Elyria needs to win, or if they lose, they'll need a little bit of help. Obviously, Avon's in, and I think Amherst needs to win and then get a little bit of help. Columbia Raiders are in. Black River and Clearview are in. I don't know the scenario of Keystone and Wellington. Steve will come in and break that down. And I believe Firelands really can't move. I think they're currently in 12th. I think they can move up to 11th no matter what they do. So they take on the Dukes this week. So there's a lot of not so much just making it, hosting a home game, and then, obviously securing a game for Week 11, even if you have to go on the road. So I'm dragging a little bit. I want to appreciate everybody that got to enjoy our 12 podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I'm improved, and I look forward to improving again next year as we continue this. This is our 4th season as a podcast, and I'm in the best studio of the 4 years. We're 2 years in running here. Hopefully we don't have to move. But real quick, We're going to get a commercial and a shout out to our sponsors. Then we'll come right back with Shane Osborne, nose tackle, the North Ridgeville Rangers, who have to. I wanted to honor a defensive player, and he definitely deserved it. So we'll be right back. As always, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. Stay healthy, stay positive.
Simplify print management. For over 30 years, R&K Technologies has been a leading provider of document technology solutions. As an authorized distributor and service provider for Xerox Office and KIP wide format equipment, R&K can tailor the optimal equipment solution. Eliminate day-to-day headaches associated with your printers, copiers, and wide format devices. Simplify with R&K. One invoice, one partner, zero hassle. Visit their website, rnktechnologies.com. Go Panthers!
If you're in the market to purchase a home or sell your home or are looking for an investment property, give Josh Hammonds a call at 440-506-1036. He's part of the Swanzer Agency Realtors Group. Hey, welcome back, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. I'm a little somewhat awake now. I got Shane Osborne, who's sitting in his car, nose tackle for the North Ridgeville Rangers. Like I said, I didn't want to get him in the mix with all the offensive players. Tyler and myself had the privilege of going to doing our spotlight game at Memorial Stadium that was sponsored by Railroad Brewing and Center Station on 820 Center Road in Avon, just south of the tracks where the former Bubba Q was at. So, welcome, Shane. You're unique. You're the only non-player of the week that we brought on, but I just felt like you should be honored. I know you guys had lost the previous week, right, going into the Avon Lake game.
Yeah, we did. We lost to Lorain.
Yeah. So, what was your mindset going up against Avon Lake, who, as you know, is always a formidable opponent?
Our mindset was that we knew we weren't a bad football team just
Right.
because we had lost a few games. Our mindset was to go in there and prove that we weren't a bad football team. And for the D line, our mindset was it's going to really start and end with us. The game's going to start with us and it's going to end with us. So we got to go in there and assert our dominance against their O-line because it starts and ends with the D-line.
Right. That game was won in the trenches. Every time I looked up, you were either on the tackle or you're nearby the tackle. You had to assist. I've got to imagine you had double-digit assists, double-digit tackles, and you just controlled the line of scrimmage. And then also number 73 and 54. Can you give me a shout-out with those two young men's names?
Ashton Cassetto and Jeremy Michael.
Jeremy Michaels, number 54.
I believe so.
And
Maybe not 54, but I know
okay,
he's.
okay. So you're down 3, and they rotated a little bit, but you were constant. And can you tell me how big are you?
I'm about 6'3", 275,
Yeah,
285.
yeah. You dominated, and Avon Lake, who likes to run the football, they only ran for 130 yards, and I felt like you guys changed the whole complex of the game. Thus, the 3 interceptions,
Right.
and then you guys got short fields, and the offense punched it in. So, as everybody says, complimentary football. The defense took care of business, even down to the last play. So, as you know, congratulations. It's been a while since the North Ridgeville Rangers had a winning season. So you've already you guys assured that you're at 6-3, and then who are we who's playing? Who are you guys playing in the last game? Homestead Falls.
On the last game,
Yeah, who you guys playing tomorrow night?
we play Amherst.
Amherst. Okay, Amherst, another Southwest Conference matchup. Amherst, who's much improved. We got an opportunity to see them play Elyria. They were onside kick away of possibly tying that game up. So they're much improved, and I'm sure you guys want that momentum going into the playoffs. Can you tell us a little bit about your preparation for the Comets?
Like you said, they've improved a lot from last year.
Right.
They're definitely not a team to be underestimated.
Exactly.
But you know, if we go in there and we handle our business and we don't take, you know, we don't underestimate them, then
Right.
we'll handle our business. And we want, if they beat us, they get to go to the playoffs. And I
Right.
think that's going to be one of the most motivating factors, is because we don't want them to go to the playoffs. We
Yeah.
want to we want to go out there and we want to get a higher seed in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Hopefully a little bit of an easier game for first round.
Kind of want the Detroit Lions into the Packers last year, even though they couldn't do anything. They kept the Packers from going. So you guys are going to advance regardless, but you want
Right.
to advance your position up. And like you said, Amherst is literally fighting for their lives. So
Right.
if they run into an unmotivated Rangers team, you guys could run into some trouble. So glad to hear that you're not underestimating them.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and being a member. I reached out to your dad, a couple other North Ridgeville parents, and got a hold of you. I apologize for I had the wrong roster. I
You're
flipped it
good.
over to the Avon Lake side. We got
Yeah.
a little cold. We were on that open end by that scoreboard, and I ran off the wrong names, and I felt horrible. And you just continue to keep on dominating. I said, Tyler, we're just going to bring him on. So I hope you enjoyed coming on. We really appreciate it. We've got this Who You Got, where we got a group of guys and a young lady, Rhonda Brown, who has been a what would I say, Tyler? She has been a true Rangers fan. You're what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
Okay, yeah. When you guys were a lot of you guys were playing at varsity as freshmen and sophomores, and you took your licks, and that's what happens with a young team. But now things have changed. So
Right.
she is a devout, loyal fan of the Rangers, and she's kind of brought us on board, and we've enjoyed following you guys. And as always, we're for Lorain County players, giving them the spotlight they deserve. So I know you're a senior, but
Yes.
you've got a lot of there's a lot of football left. I mean, the Southwest Conference, where you guys are 1, 4, 5, 7. I mean, Homestead Falls is in there. I mean, man, say you go 7-3 in the Southwest Conference, one of the toughest Division II regions in the state, without question. And I don't have to tell you that.
Right.
Right, and I call them the three-headed monster. Homestead Falls, Avon Lake, and Avon. They have dominated for the last 10 years. They have dominated this conference, and you cracked one of them. You got Avon Lake. So
And we
Hopefully,
beat Homestead Falls.
and you beat Olmsted Falls. You beat
Absolutely.
Olmsted Falls also?
Earlier in the season, we did.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's that right there. Those 2 wins alone is what's catapulting you to. Where are you guys currently? In 7th?
I'm not sure what we're in.
Okay. Yeah.
You can ask any one of my teammates, but I try and keep my head clear of all
Okay.
that
So
before the game.
it's a good chance you're gonna be hosting a home game. So that would be great for the community. It looks like, I know you don't follow it. It would look like Lorain County, out of 16 teams, I think 6 schools are going to host a playoff game. So there's a lot of talent here in Lorain County, and that's why we're here to showcase. We just really enjoy it. I want to thank you for coming on. I will get you a certificate for Peace, Love, and Little Donuts right there in Avon on Center Ridge. You'll probably have to buy another dozen, but I'll start you off with the first 12. And Shane, as always, on Lorain County Friday Night Lights, stay healthy, stay positive. Thanks for coming on. Good luck tomorrow night, and then good luck in week 11 and moving forward. We'll be following you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, you take care.
You too.
So we're gonna take another break. We're gonna get into who you got. Steve's gonna come in and talk about the scenarios, playoff scenarios, and then we'll finish up with a little bit of Warren Hill and Simple when we get out of here at the bottom of the second half hour. So take a look at our sponsors. Again, if you want to view this, Shane, it'll be on. You can search YouTube, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. Go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. We truly appreciate it. Our membership grows, and we'll be right back.
Simplify print management. For over 30 years, R&K Technologies has been a leading provider of document technology solutions. As an authorized distributor and service provider for Xerox Office and KIP wide format equipment, R&K can tailor the optimal equipment solution. Eliminate day-to-day headaches associated with your printers, copiers, and wide format devices. Simplify with R&K. One invoice, one partner, zero hassle. Visit their website, rnktechnologies.com. Go Panthers!
If you're in the market to purchase a home or sell your home or looking for an investment property, give Josh Hammonds a call at 440-506-1036. He's part of the Swanzer Agency Realtors Group.
Spain.
Carpenter.
Hey, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. What's the scenario? Well, Steve Gerald, Mr. Versatility. You guys are wondering why I call Mr. Versatility. On the football field, this guy running back, wing back, kick return, punt return, DB, and track. We, as you guys know, we won the championship 40 years ago of the old defunct Lorain County Lakeland Conference.
Yep.
Yeah, and Steve, he get points in long jump. Every week it changed. We needed him to run the lead off and get out of the blocks in the 4x1, the 4x4. We needed him to get some points in 100. He'd go ahead and, after he was exhausted, go ahead and get 5, get 5th and 6th place, get us a couple points. And if you know anything about the strategy of track, that helps. So I just always considered him Mr. Versatility. Then he'd run the open 400, and he'd hang with me to about 300 meters. And then much as I love him, I had to meet him at the finish line. But nothing but love.
I got a picture.
Points. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got a picture. Maybe we'll post.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that senior meet? Never lost at Sevitz Field, right? I go over to Rich and I said, "You're losing today." Wasn't true, but almost. Almost. Ran a 52.8 or something. I don't know. A lot of adrenaline.
At Sevitz Field, I was him. My
you were.
year, I was him. But I don't know how I missed this. Apologize to Gary Tyler, the WOBL, WDLW Sports. We had Shane Osborne on, Steve, who was the nose tackle, number 74 for the North Ridgeville Rangers. He dominated the game and changed the complexion of the game and forced Avon Lake to pass. So we had him on. I felt like he did enough where we should honor him. So
sure. That whole line, he said, Rich, right? That whole line.
The whole line. Yeah, the whole line.
And the first thing he said is they changed the line of scrimmage on Avon Lake, and you don't see that.
Right. And Amherst at North Ridgeville. Amherst at North Ridgeville will be the Lorain County Sports Network game. That's going to be covered. You can search on YouTube, Lorain County Sports Network. So if you want to get an opportunity to see Shane Osborne and the fellow Jason Fellenstein's boys at Amherst, and Cole Norris, quarterback in Amherst. Amherst, we got the opportunity to see against. They're fighting for their playoff lives.
Hey, big game, right?
Big game.
Amherst wins, they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ridgeville wins. I think they're guaranteed a
home game. They're guaranteed a home game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But
yeah, and then you don't talk about that much in high school football, but these kids are human beings too. Maybe Avon Lake had a donut game. Maybe they were looking at the rail. They were looking at Avon, and North Ridgeville didn't care anything about the rail. So the rail game will be on WDLW. Ohio News Network pregame will start at 6. Pregame with Don Vincent and Rick Soto will start at 6:30 and kick off at 7. For the rail, what did they call it? South versus Lake. The Avon Eagles versus the Avon Lake Shoremen, probably the number one rivalry game currently in the county. So that's on WDLW. And if you want to stream that, it's on WDLWradio.com. Check that out. And then, I don't know how Lorain County 8 does it, but we've got the Columbia at Black River game. I guess if Black River knocks off Columbia and Clearview knocks off Brookside, they'll have the same record. But the head-to-head, it goes to Columbia. So I don't know if they do a share or if they give that to the Columbia Raiders. But needless to say, if Black River gets that win, that catapults them up in the playoffs. And then one of Judge Brinkey was one of our sponsors. And then Honey Dudes. The Honey Dudes, who I want to thank Chris for going over. He's one of our sponsors. I want to thank him for driving out to Lakewood and taking care of my daughter's house today. I truly appreciate him being in the forefront and taking care of that. So I want Honey Dudes. I don't have their number. Hope I'll post it up tonight or this weekend. That's one of the sponsors that I missed, and I want to thank them. They're new with WOBL and WDLW. So, Steve, without further ado, what's the scenario?
Well, let's go through something first. I haven't bashed them all year, so let's go with this now.
The floor is all yours.
So OHSAA had a little problem during the pandemic, took out some loans and got some free money from the government, and decided that they're going to put 16 teams per division, which I'll get to. But there's a big outcry from families and students for the price of tickets now going up for the third straight year. Okay, so now it's my understanding the average ticket to go to a OHSAA game football is now $17. That includes students. Students are not in free. Okay, so now you've got family members, friends, students. Do we not want students at the game? $17. Rich, do you think you'd pay $17 when you were 16 years old to go watch a game that might be, an hour away? Probably not going to happen. You're just not going to do it. So what are we doing? We don't want people at the game.
I had three kids, and one in junior high and two in high school. And then my wife and I want to go.
It's crazy.
Right.
So let's say that one, it's bad. Right. Their attendance has been down 3 years in a row. You know why? Ticket prices. Okay, so let's do that. So let's say that they're getting all this money, right? They're having more games, they're getting more money. According to the Columbus Dispatch, there was 2 articles, one in June and one here like last 2 weeks. OHSAA has a surplus of between 20.3 million and 26 million. Let me repeat that. 20.3 million to 26. So why are they raising prices? Why are students not allowed in free? It's ridiculous. It's greed. Okay, so that's it. So they have a surplus. The whole point of expanding the playoffs is because they didn't have the money. They still have, now they have $20 million. So twofold. Why are we still having a 16 game or 16 team per region playoffs? No way. And then why are you charging? Because let's face it, love Elyria High, want them to do well. There's no way that they deserve to play St. Ed's and get killed by 70 points next week. They don't. Dublin Jerome, who I saw play down here, is going to have to play Olentangy. They're 2-7. The only 2 wins were I think 3-0 and 6-0. They don't deserve to play. There's not enough teams, especially Division I, that don't have. I mean, we're going to have teams with, again, 1-9 records, 2-8. Thank God it's not an 0-10. They don't. I'm sorry. There are too many teams making the playoff. The only reason it was done is because they needed money. Correct? That's over. $26 million surplus, Rich. They don't need to do it. So OHSA, get off your butt. Make these games more affordable. Do not charge students. I don't know. Are they charging the band? Ridiculous. This is why attendance is going down. It's not because of the kids. It's not because of product. Because I think as a group, this may be some of the top heaviest teams we've had, with Massillon being, dominant this year. Hoban being dominant. St. Ed's, had the one loss, but they're still really good. We have some really good teams that I will guarantee you their attendance is going to be down. My understanding, they're having a hard time finding, and this is the other part of the greed, I guess this will be part 3, finding schools that want to host these regional games, because the OHSAA takes all the tickets, takes all the concessions, and takes the parking. Why would you have a game at Brookside Sevitz Field when you're not going to get any of the money? But you got the expense of the electricity, the water, the workers, etc. It's ridiculous. Okay, so let's go back to the kids. I hope maybe they'll listen. I don't know if they look at this or not. I think Mike Doss is on their board. Please, number 2, Buckeye Hall of Famer, please do something. Somebody needs to do something, right? It's greed. Right. Let's quit it. 16 game teams is ridiculous. Ridiculous. These teams do not deserve to be in. We've got, I'm going to go through the scenario, and the conference there with Avon and Avon Lake, really good conference. They don't deserve to have 7 teams. I'm sorry. It diminishes the conference thing, because we'll say you win the conference, you're Avon, and then suddenly you got to play, I don't know, pick a team, Ridgeville again, and then Ridgeville upsets you. It just, I don't know. It seems like it's.
Ridgeville is.
No, but I'm just.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm just giving an example, whatever.
Right,
but
right.
So what do we have as scenarios right now? Well, I'm going to tell you, Lorain's lost last week. made a significant change with them. I think they were a 6 seed, or maybe they were 7. But right now you have Lorain at as a 10th seed. Even with the win, I don't think they're going to go past Massillon Jackson or Glen Oaks. I think they're kind of, they win this week. I think they're at 10, going to play Berea Mid Park right now, and I think they can win that game.
So they got to travel to Finney Stadium. They had that.
Yeah.
They lost even with the Maple Heights win, huh? Maple
Yep.
Heights sitting at 6-3. Wow.
Yep. So they're at 7. Elyria is at 16, and like I said, as a scenario right now, they're going to play St. Ed's. Assuming St. Ed's beats Hoban, which I don't know if they will, but I would say if it's next, it's going to probably either be Cleveland Heights or McKinley was actually number 1 until this last week when they got upset by Glen Oak. And Glen Oak actually jumped up a bunch. Glen Oak jumped, I think, from 15th to 8th with that win. So you got those in Division 1. Should be some good games. Now here's got your Division 2 matchups where you have basically Lorain County really being represented. Right now, you had Avon versus Lakewood, a decent matchup there. Lakewood, beat Clearview on that double reverse pass. Should be interesting. You have Avon Lake right now is the 4 seed. I'd probably going to go down if they lose to Avon, but they would be playing Toledo start. Then you have Ridgeville, and we talked about this. Ridgeville right now is the 5 seed, right behind Avon Lake. I think they'll probably jump to 4 if they can win their game, and then Avon Lake loses to Avon. So you'd have Ridgeville playing. Who are they playing? Oregon Clay. Never.
So right now, Steve, we have Avon Lake, and North Ridgeville. They're a shirt of three home games in round 1.
Yep.
In Lorain County.
Yep.
Okay.
And then right there, you know who you got at 6? Homestead Falls is at 6.
Right.
Homestead Falls is at 6. Right now, Homestead Falls would be playing Midview. How about that? At 11, 6-11 matchup. And then you have Amherst at 17. Amherst beats Ridgeville. I would say Ridgeville, I don't know if they're going to drop out at 8, but close. You got Westlake at 8 right now. The Ridgeville's really got, they're 4 computer points ahead of them. But Amherst would jump up with a win. I think they'll probably end up like 14th, maybe 13th, and get into it. So you've got Avon at 1, Avon Lake at 4, Ridgeville 5, 6, and this is Division 2, Region 6. You got Midview at 11. You got Amherst at 17. So you got 7 teams right there in that conference already possibly making the playoffs. And I think
Elyria in Division 1.
If you're looking at all divisions, you've got Avon. If you go by all computer points right now, you got Massillon at 1 overall, Avon at 3, and Hoban at 4. Unbelievable. Maybe it's 4-3 right there. But yeah, I think Division 2 is going to be the strongest of all the divisions, and this will be really interesting. And this is the year, Avon's got a very well-rounded team. Maybe this is the year that they can beat Hoban or Massillon. So then you go back down. The next thing we got is Division 4, Region 14. You've got Firelands at 12. Nobody else above that. You have Firelands at 12. The big school there is Glenville, which I can't believe they have them as 4. But you've got them at 12. They would be playing Galleon. Then you have Elyria Catholic at 16, Rich, at 3-6, right? And they would be playing Perkins, who's undefeated at 8-0. So Elyria Catholic, as of today, is right there. But then right behind them, you got Vermilion. Who does Vermilion have this week? Vermilion gets the 4-6.
Bellevue.
Elyria Catholic loses. Who do they have?
Bellevue.
Okay, Bellevue's good, aren't they?
4-5.
Yeah. So maybe they bump up, or maybe both of them win, and we get EC and Vermilion both in there. But that's a game. Perkins is pretty good, so that'd be really tough. But Firelands has got a nice team. They play Galleon, who was I think, what are they record? They're 6-3. It's not like they're unbeatable. So we'll see how that works out. And then you got Division 5, Region 17. You got Clearview at 6, right there at 6, and they'd be playing Edison, who would be the 11th seed, and they're 6-3. I think
what's Edison's record?
6-3. 6-3. The computer points are 7.8, whereas Clearview is 15.05. So that goes to strength of schedule, I would think, at Lorain County 8. I think Clearview would have a really good shot, and then if they win that game, they'd be playing Creston Norwayne, probably, who's the 3 seed, who's 8-1. But not in computer points, not that real far ahead of Clearview. So that would be interesting. And you still got, Keystone, right? We talked about it, the Pride of Keystone. They're still at 20. I mean, they got a shot if they could win this week and get the 4-6. They're not they're not too far away from 16th. They're only like 1.25 computer points above. So who does Keystone have this week?
I don't know off the top of my head, Steve.
Okay, we'll see what they win. They get computer points. It's a possibility they could get up to somewhere between. I don't think they have a chance to get up to 14, but they definitely could get to 15 or 16 possibly. So we'll see on that. And then you have, Region 14 division.
Keystone's got Oberlin, so no secondary points.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything there. But then you got then you've got Columbia, right? Region 22, Division 6. You got Columbia as the 2 seed, right behind Bluffton. You got Columbia right behind them, and they would be playing Seneca, who would be the 15th seed. And then you've got sitting there in 11th seed, you've got Black River, and Black River would be playing the 6th seed Toledo Ottawa Hills, who's 8-1. So maybe with the win, it looks to me like they possibly could go as high as 10, maybe 9, but I kind of doubt it. I think a win would probably put them at 10. If they went up to 10, they'd be playing Defiance. So you got Columbia there at the number 2 seed, right behind Bluffton at 9-0. And they'd have what, three home games. So
right.
We'll see how that works. So you've got
two.
Yes, 2. So you've got 11 schools, possibly up to 13 that can get in the playoffs. So hopefully we all cheer for the Lorain County schools to get through that. I think Columbia can win a couple games. Definitely Avon can win some games. I'm gonna tell you, I haven't watched on video the Clearview Columbia game. I think Clearview can win some games. I really like that young quarterback, and they play hard. And honestly, we talked about the defensive matchup of that game. They got worn out a little bit, but boy, Clearview's defense really played well. They really played well against Columbia.
If Clearview gets a dry track, they're going to be a problem.
Yeah,
they get a dry track, they're going to be.
It's really good to see overall, just from an old timing standpoint of seeing Lorain and Clearview representing Lorain as well as they have this year, and both having nice years. Good to see after them both being down for a while.
Right. So, well, that's the scenario. We're going to take a break. Mr. Versatility is going to hang with us. I know he's watching his Thundering Herd last
Playing
time.
Playing bad.
They were 0-0 at the in the first early.
Yeah, they threw a big hit, threw an interception. They actually started driving. Their best player, Rashid Ali from Shaker Heights, is hurt.
So
one of the top backs in the country, and he's not playing, so that's not
there's
good.
There's a lot of football to be played. We're gonna fade out to a little bit of Warren Hill Simple, little close up that they do on Saturday Night Live. But we're not gone. We're not gone. We'll come up with our last segment of the year with Elyria Ford, Nick Abraham, Elyria Ford. Who you got? And we'll talk about the matchups. This week's matchups, and we'll talk about the standings of who you got presented by Elyria Ford. So take a little listen to Warren Hill, a little Simple as we fade out and for our last show.
Hey, Ignatius is 1-8 too. I'm going to make the playoffs, Rich.
we got a little taste of a little Warren Hill, a little simple, the signature song of when Saturday Night Live is ending their season. I don't know if our ratings are compared to Saturday Night Live, but wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, I don't think that I compare to Travis Kelce and the Swifties, but I do my best for you, Rich.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
You got to call your shots, man.
You gotta call your shot. Call your shot. Which those that Beehive with Beyonce and then Swifty. Those people are I'm gonna stay out the way. I don't want no part.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
I
Stay
don't
out of
want,
the movie theaters this weekend.
I don't
Stay
want
out of the
any
movie
smoke.
theater.
Yeah, my daughter's working Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm like, why? She goes, 2 words, Dad, Taylor Swift. I'm like, so she did a concert, right? She did a concert, and then she runs the concert back to you, and she goes, yeah, Dad, these are 3 hours. What? And she runs the bar, and
She sings 44 songs. She
said,
sings 44 songs at concert.
So I'm thinking, okay, there's why are they so concerned about you having the bar? I'm figuring these are young ladies, high school kids that are going to see Taylor Swift. And she's like, oh, no, absolutely not, Dad. This one lady, give me 4 shots of Patron. I'm like, what? So this is a party. This is what a phenomenon, a little bigger than NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, I guess. But I don't have anybody. I don't have any young kids, so my granddaughters are not into it. So I'm out. I'm out the loop. Kelsey's bringing a lot of attention to himself. He better concentrate on some football before.
Hey, he was talking about Cedar Point on his podcast yesterday, so he's very well rounded.
Yeah, get a little snippets of it. I love his nieces. His nieces told after the Super Bowl. She said, Daddy, you didn't win. He goes, no, I didn't win. She said, Uncle Travie won. Uncle Travie won, Dad. And he's like, yeah, Uncle Travie won. So, really some real neat life stuff there. That's some good stuff. Kids are always going to be candid, but
no.
Yeah, I regress, and we'll get back to Elyria Ford's Who You Got. I want to thank Chuck Sturgill for stepping up and having the belt for Who You Got and sponsoring this game for, I think this is 3 or 4 years of Who You Got. So we're going to start out with EC Westlake. Steve kind of already gave you the scenario. EC, who sits at what? They sit at 2-7. And they're taking on Westlake Demons, who are 6-3. They win, they're in. Matt Thompson, Rhonda Brown, and Sean Sword take the Panthers. Everybody else.
EC's 3-6. They're 3-6.
3-6 against the 6-3 Westlake Demons. And then you've got Berea Mid-Park Titans, who are unanimous against Elyria. Again, what's the Elyria scenario? Are they in even if they lose? Or do they need some help? Do they control their own destiny?
Parma Normandy is behind them, but computer points, they're pretty far behind. Well, half a point. They're 1-7.
Right.
And Stowe, Run Falls, they're 1-8, but they're yeah, I think they're in even if they lose. Assuming Normandy loses and Stowe loses. If they somehow won,
right.
I mean, you're talking about 13 seed is Cleveland St. Ignatius. They're 1-8. Euclid's 1-8. Brunswick's 2-7, and Elyria is 1-8. And like I said, Ignatius, Euclid, Brunswick, Elyria, nice communities. Ignatius, unbelievable tradition. You don't deserve to play another game, but whatever. I digress.
Okay. We got Clearview against Tyler and myself will be the Lorain County Friday Night Light Spotlight Game of the Week, sponsored by Pavement Maintenance of Ohio. I want to thank Dave Ruppel for sponsoring us for our Week 10. I put his website up there. I'll put that up again tonight. Rhonda Brown was the only one to take the Brookside Cardinals. So Tyler and myself will be at Hokefield for that Lorain County 8 matchup. Then we got Olmsted Falls, who's unanimous over Midview. Midview can lose and still get in. I looked at the scenario. They can move up as high as 9. They're big favorites over the Midview Middies. And then North Ridgeville is unanimous. Shane Osborne in the game. We had Shane on earlier. And that game is on Lorain County Sports Network. Search on YouTube, Lorain County Sports Network, and you can see that game live in its entirety. North Ridgeville Rangers against the Amherst Comets. And then Lorain against Maple Heights. Going to be a tough game, so they can go ahead and take care of the Lake Erie League if Lorain High takes care of business, and possibly secure a home playoff game. Then you got Keystone, who sits at 20. They've got an outside shot. They're not going to get any secondary points from Oberlin, but they're big favorites against the Oberlin Phoenix. And then Avon against Avon Lake for the rail. South versus Lake. Avon is unanimous again. Avon continues to roll. Their 8th straight Southwest Conference championship. As we start the playoffs, we'll get in more in depth, as Steve talked about. Is this the time that they play again for all the marbles and play for the state championship game? I think the last time was 2010, 2011. Can't remember. And then Wellington and Firelands. For some reason, I took Wellington over the Falcons. I don't know what the scenario is with Wellington. Steve, can you check and see what the scenario is with Wellington? We didn't talk about them. I don't know where they currently sit. But Firelands, win or lose, I don't think they move much. So they just want to win and be a positive going into Week 11. And then Columbia and Black River, Sean Sword took the Black River Pirates. I guess if Black River knocks off Columbia, Clearview beats Brookside, and they share the Lorain County 8. And then Bellevue versus Vermilion, obviously. Adam took Vermilion, and so did Matt Thompson take over Bellevue. And Vermilion's got a shot to make the playoffs. So we're going to fade out. We're going to go to our sponsors for one last time, and then I'll come back and I'll give you my 4th and inches for our seniors, and then we'll get out of here. I know we're running a little late, but it was kind of by design. And we'll be right back. As always, Lorain County Friday Night Lights. Stay healthy, stay positive.
Man, I don't see Wellington. I couldn't find them. What? I don't. I mean, maybe they don't have enough points to be on anything. Oh, I'm sorry.
Melancholy as we get out of here. I'll give you the Week 10 standings before for the Week 9. After Week 9, we got Dan Giles, sits in first place with 103 points. Matt Thompson is in second with 101. Coach Busky and Josh Showers are tied for third with 96. Mr. Clearview, Bob Caldwell, and Sean Swartz tied for fifth. They're at 94. Adam Garcia, who got some help from his sailors this year, sits at 7th. Redshirt Junior, Tyler Hatcher, sits at 8th with 90. Scotty Bryant, Ray Pena are tied at 9th with the members and myself bringing up the rear. And Rhonda Brown sits at the bottom with 84. So I didn't do too many 4th and inches this year, but I figured I'd want to do um, one right here at the end, and then I'll give Steve an opportunity to finish our season up, our podcast season. Again, stay in tune to the group. We're going to still do our R&K Technologies check-in. We're still going to have our updates. I'll have matchups of the playoffs, and we'll continue to follow. We just won't have the podcast. So congratulations to the seniors. A lot of you will play your in the next month. The opportunity it's going to be given to you to finish strong. Some of us, some of the teams in Lorain County will finish up tomorrow night. That's their last chance to play high school football. Many of them, like Steve and myself, Tyler, we bowed out in high school football. There's no shame in it. But I want to tell you, and I'm serious about this, you're one of the when you leave that field, and you'll have your memories. You'll cross paths with a lot of people, co-workers, college roommates, neighbors, friends, spouses. You'll be amazed on how many people you'll cross paths with will talk about high school football. Like, oh, yeah, I know you're in St. Clairsville. Okay, you're up here in Lorain County. You're at, did you play Avon? Yeah, we played them. Okay, and then, and even some of the schools that closed, people will still talk about them. So you leave out of here as part of one of the greatest sports fraternities, in my opinion, in the United States. You leave as a Ohio high school football player. I not going to compare you to that, but you've got Heisman Trophy winners and Roger Staubach, Charles Woodson, Outlet Trophy winners, and Orlando Pace, who played right down the street, Archie Griffin, who only 2-time winner, Roger Staubach, who Heisman Trophy winner, and we can go on and on. Ryan Shackelford ended up being a 3-star, Triple Crown winner in track. He played football for Keystone right here in Lorain County 8. Marco Sirigliano, who's going to finish up possibly one of the top 5 rushers of all time in the state of Ohio. We talked about many breaks there, many records that he broke in Lorain County. So you're part of that. You're part of that fraternity. You're part of that great fraternity that continues to grow. You should feel honored because a lot of people quit. A lot of people decided they're not going to play, and you got to understand, even at your worst times, even if you end up tomorrow night, it's down 41-0. Look around. Look in the stands. Even your worst times are someone else's best times because they don't get an opportunity to play on the field. So leave everything. Leave everything out on the field. Play with your heart, and welcome to the fraternity. Steve, you go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, let's congratulate all the teams that are going to make the playoffs, and let's bind together and root for them, somebody to make a run. I think we got multiple schools that can make some runs. I think Clearview's got a chance to make the run. I think Columbia, the 2 bellwethers, Columbia and Avon definitely have a chance to make some runs. But Ridgeville with the line you talked about, I think they can win a couple games. Let's get some Lorain County teams there, maybe the Final 4, or maybe in making it to Canton or Massillon. I think they got a great shot. And let's talk about the great year we have, as you dubbed them last week, the 4 horsemen. And I don't know if we've seen 4 running backs with the statistics combined that these 4 have had. And hats off to Marco with all the things that he's done, and Mr. Caffey at Avon with the records he's setting with all-time leading rusher at Avon. And in my lifetime, I don't think we've had 4 rushers that have that many yards and that many touchdowns on and 3 of the 4 teams have with significantly good records. So as you said, tomorrow's gonna be the last time. A lot of people are gonna play. Give it your all, because I'm telling you, in 30 years, You know, I know we went 09-1 my senior year, but that's not what I remember. I remember more the good stuff that happened. We played everybody tight. We just weren't as good. I remember a lot of our junior year when we had, you know, pretty successful team, Brookside, really had a chance till the very last two games to actually make the playoffs. So, and you're right, the Ohio football fraternity is like none other. Believe me, I've been all around the country. I mean, they can talk about Texas. I get it. Texas is a different beast, but especially Northeast Ohio. But we have the best coaches, the best fans, the best bands. As you come down to Columbus, that tradition goes. So good luck to everybody. Have a nice night. Let's get some Lorain County teams and win some games in playoffs. Maybe win it all. That'd be great. I'd even root for Avon.
Hey, we're out of here. Hey, it was a great season. Thank you, Lorain County Friday Night Live members. We're at 8,697, and I'm sure as people start snooping around, people from this time of year, people that are outside the county.
Hey, shout out! Hey, we got some Columbus people watching tonight. Watching. Let's do it.
Shout out to Franklin County. Steve, Mr. Versatility, Steve did his thing. Hey, I know Steve talks a lot of stuff, but Steve is a heck of a high school athlete. There ain't no question, and I don't lie about that. So
thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. So I want to say shout out to Tyler, my producer, who handles the ones and twos. Shout out to Gary Tollett of WOBL WDLW. And then my ace, Steve Gerald. And I want to thank my wife, who allows me to spend all this time dedicated to high school football. I truly appreciate it. I really do, because I really have a great time doing this. But it's time to move on. And everybody knows what I do in the wintertime. And I'll see you in the gym soon.
Hey, let's go Cards. Lady Cards, let's go.
Let's go Cards. We're gonna fade out with Warren Hill and Simple. You'll see me pack up, and if you can't be good, at least be good at it. Take care.